Now that President Trump has won the 2024 presidential election by an apparent landslide, many of his detractors suggest Kamala Harris only lost due to racism and sexism. I'm here to suggest the numbers do not place validity in that claim. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Racism, Kamala Harris's defeat, say it ain't so. I'm going to give you some numbers. Right off the bat, the African American community is likely what comes to mind when folks are suggesting racism, sexism. Kamala Harris actually did fairly well in regards to the African American community. Only 7% of African American women voted for Trump. 7%. So she got like 93% of the African American women vote. And I don't think much more than 20% of the men supported President Trump. So the African American community actually sided by Kamala Harris by a substantial number. That wasn't where she was bleeding votes. Hispanic women voted for President Trump. 37% of Hispanic women voted for Trump. Now remember, the women were supposed to side with the liberals due to rolling back of Roe v. Wade. I'm here to submit to you that didn't come close to happening. Now, 37% of Hispanic women, 54% of Hispanic men went MAGA, sided with President Trump. These are people of color, folks. Remember, Kamala Harris only lost due to racism. The numbers don't measure up. That means more than half of the Hispanic men voted for Trump. So the idea that racism, no, you got people of color voting for Trump. So the whole, it's racism does not measure up. 54% of Hispanic men, only 59% of white men supported her. So it was damn near as many Hispanic men that supported Kamala Harris as white men. I would submit to you that racism, of the alleged claim that racism held Kamala Harris back, no, I believe it might be Kamala Harris and the Democrats that held Kamala Harris back. My particular belief is that, first of all, she only had 100 days or so to run. Remember, Tim Walz says, we got 100 days, we can do this in our sleep or whatever. Tim Walz came on the stage admitting we got a short time to accomplish a lot. Well, they clearly failed to do that. Kamala Harris was never a very popular politician from the beginning. Trump was. So I gotta say it's less to do with racism, considering how many Hispanics voted for Trump over Kamala Harris, and more to do with the fact that maybe she wasn't a poor politician. Keep in mind, we didn't exactly elect her to the spot. The blame, as opposed to racism and sexism, the blame likely falls on the current president, Joseph R. Biden, for taking too damn long to step down. He is the reason she only had 100 days to run, or any other Democrat. Perhaps if he had announced in the very beginning he was a one-term president and he was going to stick by that, that would have gave the Democratic Party several years to decide who would have been best to represent the Democrats and gave them a hell of a longer time to campaign. Kamala Harris had a little bit over 100 days of campaign. Trump has been campaigning for almost a damn decade, to be honest with you. But in reality, okay, because he never stopped holding rallies while he was president the first time. He didn't stop holding rallies in the offseason. He actually announced he was running for president, I believe, in June of 2023. So Kamala Harris had to compete with all of that campaigning in only 100 days or so. No way in hell she should have been expected to compete with a juggernaut like that. So I don't think it was sexism. I don't think it was racism. Yeah, there was a smaller element of that in it, but I think it simply put, people were concerned with their pocketbook, concerned with the economy, concerned with maybe safety, even immigrants, folks who are descendants of immigrants. As I said, 54% of Hispanic males, folks who were descendants of immigrants, were complaining about the border not being secure. Here is the biggest number that tells the tale. There was a border county in southern Texas, Starr County, Texas, Now, this border county, 97% of the residents in Stark County, Texas are Latino. First time that county voted for a Republican in 128 years. 97% Hispanic community voted for Trump, and they're on the border. The reason is obvious. They're seeing the immigration issue, and they wanted something done about it. 128 years. But that's the Hispanics. I'll also give you a rural county in North Carolina. Remember that state was in play, North Carolina? Anson County, North Carolina. 40% black. First time that county has went Republican since the Reconstruction. So you're talking even more than 100 years. First time that county in North Carolina has went red, has voted Republican since Reconstruction. Nothing to do with racism there. So I'm going to tell you, I don't believe for one bit it was this massive issue with racism or this serious issue with sexism. It was with Kamala and the choices of the Democratic Party, because there's just simply too many minority areas, minority voters that did not like her also. Let me know in the comments, what the hell am I getting wrong? You think it was solely racism? You think if Kamala Harris was a white man, same conditions, 100 days to run, same economy, same border issues, 100 days, but she's a white man, you think she would have pulled it off? Let me know in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.